Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Ms. Honeydrop. Happy New Year. How are you doing? I hope you came into this year feeling very good. Yeah, it feels so good to see you again, and I pray that this year will be a wonderful, prosperous year filled with loads and loads of blessing. That thing you've been praying for, that's become a nuisance prayer request, would be granted this year. Weddings, babies, prosperity, promotion, increase, all sphere and levels of abundance and blessing and just open doors will come to every one of us in this year. Everything you've prayed for and even more, by the special grace of Olodumare. Welcome to 2022. Feels so good to have you here. Anyway, if you are a new viewer, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And also don't forget to click the notification button so you know when videos are rolling out. Right. Before we go into the video, which we'll be talking about the power of water, the eccentricity and everything, I want to quickly address a few things, because this is 2022 and it would be nice that we are not moving mad. Okay, so number one, please and thank you when you're coming into my DM or sending me an email. Remember to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're speaking from, depending on what part of the world you are at the time. Listen, even if the lion is chasing you, don't worry. We will catch that lion together, because I understand that desperate times require desperate measure. But, I'm quite traditional. I'm a very traditional person, and I know sometimes I don't come across as that person, but yes, I can be. In fact, one of my pet peeves is that you say morning to me. I hate it so much when people say morning. Good morning. Don't come in and say hi, hello, hey girl. I am not your girl. Do not a girl me. And I understand that when you've watched someone for some time, it can almost feel like we know each other. I completely understand. But please, I don't want to sound harsh or anything, but it's important to me. That's why I'm addressing it. Until we get really close and familiar, don't say hey girl, because I'm not your girl. Okay? And number two, do not ask me personal questions, because this is pertinent to me. If you do have inquiries or genuine question, I do not mind answering it. Don't ask me stupid questions you already know answers to. I think some people just feel like they're catching cruise or whatever they call that thing. It's really irritating, because like someone is actually taking their time out to respond to you. We are having a chat, and then you start asking me really stupid questions. Like sometimes I'm like, are you serious? Are you having a laugh? Do I look like a joke to you? Because the way they ask the questions, you can tell that the person behind the screen is not serious. I think, for some people, Isheshe is still like a joke based on whatever nonsense they've seen in Hollywood. Nollywood. And they just want to waste your time. Don't waste my time. I'm begging you. Don't ask me personal questions. Like, I remember one person asking me what my taboos are. That is none of your damn business. If you want to know what your taboos are, go do them divination. Don't ask me what my taboos are just because I carry a lot of water element. My taboos do not apply to you. What I can do might be your taboo. What you can do might be my taboo. Even when we belong to the same Egbe, I know people who were of the same Egbe Orun, and their taboos are completely different from mine. the things that I have to abstain from, they don't have to. So everyone is different. That being said, please don't make demands of me. Polite request is always welcome. I remember I made a video about Ifa a few months ago. Yeah, sometime middle of the year, I think, because a lady asked me nicely to please explain about Ifa, and I took time. I did all the necessary research, and then I made the video. It takes time, months even, to gather the materials for all the videos I make. I'm very careful, and I'm very, what's the word? I take it very seriously. It's not something I do lightly, you know. So when I'm actually making the video, I know, okay, I've taken time to do all the necessary research, this and that, everything that needs to come to make it one. So when you just come and make a demand of me, do this, and I'm like, sorry, who are you? So yeah, some of the things I need take a lot of time for me to get it. But anyway, I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm being too strict. I can be a bit stern. I'm so big on boundaries because I wouldn't do it to you, so I'm not going to take it. All right, now that we've addressed that, let's go into the powers of water. Okay, as we know or don't know, as humans, we are all made up of 70% of water in our body. There's a huge part, like literally everything, the blood, the this, the that. I don't want to go into all the medical and scientific thing. You can read that up online. But the point is, we are made up of 70% of water, and the energy of water would always connect back to us when we use it appropriately, as we ought to. Water is so powerful, its uses are immeasurable. I'm not even talking of the daily use of bathing with it, brushing our teeth, cooking, whatever else, washing our cars, laundry, and all that kind of jazz. There are so many other uses. Like, water in itself is very magical. The fact that water can have memory, wow, it beats me every time. A lot of people have heard about Dr. Emoto's research on how he speaks to water and how they form into beautiful snowflakes. When he and his team of scientists, or friends, started this experiment, I don't think they had much expectation until those crystals started forming based on the words they spoke to the water. So we see places where they say very nasty words to the water, and it's when it forms into ice, it's quite ugly and it's a bit murky in look or cloudy. But the water that they spoke very loving words to came out with very beautiful snowflakes. Now, I also know about plants. When you speak kind words to plants, they flourish, they look so beautiful, they grow, they're just amazing. But when you speak very mean, harsh words to them, you're ugly, I hate you, da, 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 they start to look very unhealthy. Now, that being said, I have experimented with this because I can be very experimental. When you tell me something, half the time I'm not just going to take it hook, line, and sinker. I'll do my own personal research, personal experimentation to test out what you said, to see that, okay, this thing is really true. So, like this pot plant you see behind me, it's an indoor plant that I've had for over a year now. yeah, over a year. And I move it around. There are times it's there, other times it's by the window, just so it can get some sunlight. And then sometimes I apologize. I'm so sorry I haven't had time to look after you as much as I should. And I say kind, loving words. And I notice that the leaf, the parts that might be a bit brownish, kind of just sometimes it just goes off on its own, and it grows out and it looks beautiful and it flourishes. I'm like, wow, I never knew that this thing was real. You can look up a video of plants on YouTube where people play music for plants, and the plants respond to rock, to soft, to jazz, to hateful, cursing music. So I just thought to add that to it. Yeah, so water and plants, they're quite similar. I mean, they all retain energy, they retain memory. So it's important to be kind to nature. Noun, I think I'm saying that was too much. Water is healing in nature. As you know, I'm an Olorisha, Onifa. I mean, look at me, all decked up in my Ide Oshun, if my Egbe beads, my Oshun beads, Segi, and everything else, my Yemojo Batala and everything. So yes, I'm an Orisha baby. Oshun and all the other water body Orishas, they use the devotees use water for a lot of things. They use it to help people conceive, which makes water fertility, fertile in nature. They use it for delivering baby. I'm not talking of bathing the baby. There are certain things they use water. That's why they call Amoloshun Olomi Tutu. They use water to help women, to aid women to give birth. Ni woro woro, no stress, no drama, you know. They use water for all these things. So water can be used to heal the body of sicknesses, can be used to help with fertility, with the birth of a baby. Water brings peace. There are times where I just stay in the bathtub for like an hour straight and I'm playing really soft music. I indulge in that a lot. I really love it because it calms my senses, my body, everything. I'm so relaxed. By the time I come out, half the time I'm going straight to bed, knockout, except if I really have something important to do, because that's my self-care. When you are an omomi, when you have the element of water, it's advisable for you to just submerge yourself in water from time to time as much as you can, just so that you connect to that energy of water. It calms you down. Many people have testified to getting inspired when they're in the bathtub, when they're having their bath. Most of these people are people who have strong water element in them. So yeah, water brings you knowledge. It also brings you wisdom, a lot of wisdom. Honestly, it does a lot of things. Water listens to us. I know for sure that whenever I'm speaking to even a large body of water, it responds to me. You know, it has a way of, water speaks to everyone differently. There are times the wave changes. I can't explain it, but you kind of just know. And for me, it's very magnetic. It feels like I'm being pulled in. And that's why my Yanifa is always reminding me, do not go to wherever there's a large body of water by yourself. Don't go to the river or lagoon or the ocean by yourself. Make sure there's always someone around you, because before you know, you just literally get pulled in. It's natural, because that's the energy you carry, so it kind of pulls you in, not in a nasty way, but it can be very loving, but it's just kind of like playing with you, like that animation Moana. So water listens, water hears us, water heals, water is amazing. You know, it brings you peace of mind and everything. Anyway, to get into uses and ways in which we can actually access the power of water, because I'm going to tell you this for sure, I have manifested a lot of things using water. I have manifested a lot of things using just water. Whenever I'm using water for manifestation, I'm careful to use plastic bottle. I usually use a glass bottle. You can get some maybe from a shop, or if you've got like an alcohol, you can wash it out. Not the best choice, but if that's what you have, that's what you have. So I use water. I use filtered water or bottled water, just because, like I mentioned in my lime video, I want to increase the alkaline in the water, so I try to also keep it clean, you know, trying to remain healthy. So the glass bottle retains energy. Whatever you put into it, your intention, it kind of soaks it up. It responds quicker than plastic bottle. Also, aside from the fact that plastic absorbs all the energy, it also is filled with too many chemicals because of the things that are used in making it, to make it stand. This is why when you put a plastic bottle around fire, it literally just melts, and sometimes it has a funny smell. That tells you a lot. Too many chemicals in it. Plus, we are all trying to save the planet. So yes, glass bottle it is. That's what I vote for. Like I was saying, I put the water in the glass bottle and I start saying affirmations. The things I'm trying to manifest, I speak it out loud. I don't just whisper it or anything. I speak it out loud. Well, let's look for an example. Let's say I'm trying to manifest an artwork of Leonardo da Vinci. I'll speak into the water. I love artwork, but I'm not so crazy about names or whatever. But yeah. And then I keep saying I'm grateful. I've got an art piece made by Leonardo da Vinci. I keep saying it over and over, and then I drink the water. The water in it that I've just drank is going to connect to all the water in my body. The molecules just literally connect with me, and it kind of start bringing that manifestation forward. And things and events will start to happen that will make it happen for you. Say you're trying to manifest a baby, you're trying to get pregnant, you're trying to manifest a car, a husband, a boyfriend, money. Yes, money. You're trying to manifest money. You can literally keep manifesting with water, keep speaking into water, and obviously it's not going to happen that same day you started the manifestation, so don't come and hold my neck, but it would eventually come to pass. Bearing in mind that whatever manifestations we're doing, we have to always be patient, because things take time to come together. So many events have to shift in order to make it come into reality. Also, I use crystals to charge water, so I put my intention into my crystals. Now, whenever I buy crystals, I hold them in my palms, and I just close my hand. I focus my energy and I speak into it, either speaking out loud, or I just connect with it, mind magic, and I say to it, this is what I want you to do for me. Some people still believe crystals is jargons. your cup of tea. But for us that believe in it, that have worked with it and know that it works, you can learn from this. I use the crystal if I'm trying to manifest money. For instance, I'll have some what's that crystal called? The fool's gold. I can't remember the name now. Anyway, I'll look for crystals that are golden in color. Citrine is good for manifestation. Pyrite. Pyrite is fool's gold. I place a pyrite and a citrine or any other green. Not necessarily. Gold is the best color for manifestation of money, even though people think it's green. Green is more for the heart chakra. So I put those very nice crystals around it and I start speaking into it, or I just leave it around it. Put my intention and charge the water. That's being said. Avoid putting certain crystals in water you want to drink, because some of the crystals carry very harmful chemicals because of how they were formed. So you have to be very careful. I do know that malachite is not very a smart crystal to put in water. There are some you can actually add in your bottle, maybe amethyst and fluorite. Those two I know are safe, but even that, and even rose quartz, as much as possible, place it around it, not inside. If you can, around it, not inside. But every now and then, maybe once in a while, you can just put in your water and drink it, but it's advised that you leave it outside. So be careful what crystals you put in your water. Never ever put a selenite, because it's just gonna melt. There are so many crystals that just would melt. Moldavite is also not good. Do not put it inside your water. Leave it out. Around it is safe enough. It will do the job and you'll see the result. Okay. Reiki is another beautiful way of charging your water. Reiki is energetic charging. So if you are a Reiki master, you could just literally chant the words or draw the symbols on your hand. It's like a sigil. So you draw the symbols on your hand using your third eye, and it forms. Already talking about it, my hands are warm, and you just kind of focus the energy on it. When I'm trying to charge something or somebody with Reiki and I want it to have even better, stronger effect, if it's one-on-one, I just draw the symbol on the person's body, forehead, or if there's a particular part of their body that's hurting them and I'm trying to heal that part using Reiki. And this is why I can do distance Reiki for people. And you'd actually feel the effect. You can either feel a warm sensation or a cold sensation, depending on the need of that person. Anyway, you could just simply chant the words chakra, 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 seiki, or onshazation, and the rest of them. You can do a combination, which is sandwich Reiki. Charge the water with Reiki and you drink it. Put in your intention. So whenever you're doing this, you have to be very focused. Mind magic. Let's say this is my water and I'm trying to charge it. So I'm just going to hold it in my hands and I breathe in through my nose and breathe out through my mouth. And I focus my hand on that bottle with my intention. I like to close my eyes most of the time because I don't want to get distracted. But there are times where I could literally just do things without closing my eyes. But yeah, if you're someone who gets distracted easily, close your eyes and just charge the water, and I just keep chanting it through my mind, or I can say it out loud, any which way. But my hands are already hot, or less, yeah, medium, not too hot, but a bit warm. Okay, more than a bit, quite warm. So you just keep saying it, and that's how you charge your water, using Reiki. Visualization is another way you can use water magic. You hold the bottle in your hand and you focus your energy visualizing that thing you are trying to bring into your life. Let's say you want to buy a Range Rover Velar and you hold the bottle, your water is already in it, and you just keep visualizing that car, like, I'm trying to manifest this, I'm trying to manifest this. You focus. Do not be distracted by a what is it called, a Porsche or a Mercedes Benz or whatever other brand of car. Just focusing on that one thing. Events like someone wants to it's up to you. This is just an example. Someone wants to sell their car. I've seen people who bought a car and within few months they want to let it go, and I'm like, you've not even used this car. What are you doing? And they might just gift it to you, or they might sell it to you at a ridiculously low price, or you might just get a very good deal with a car company, and hey, voila, the car is yours. So those are ways you could actually use water to manifest things into your life. Pictures is another amazing way. Now, beginning of last year, 2021, there are certain things I put on my vision board. I've taken some of them off. Some of them I still have it on there. Actually, I need to make a new vision board. Whenever I'm manifesting every day in the morning, I have my vision board in front of me, and then I have my bottle of water in front of me. I open the top of it, and as I'm visualizing those things, I'm holding the bottle. My energy is connecting with it. Other times I'm saying the words out loud, or I have like a sheet of paper in which I've done scripting, and I start reading out those things that I'm manifesting, and I have the bottle with me, and once I finish, I drink it. And I tell you, oh my Lord, it worked. It did work. And some people will be like, oh, it's just fluke. Maybe it's just coincidence. Listen, there are some people, I don't know, and that's okay. They're never going to believe anything in this life till they die, and that's fine. Please, if you're that kind of person, Nguanu, bye. Move. Allow people that want to learn. Don't bring your bad vibes here. You're not welcomed. It's okay if you don't believe in it. If you believe it's all hula balloon, some jargons or whatever, that's okay. But I'm telling you, this thing worked. It did work. Anyway, so I used all these different methods. Now, if you are really, I don't want to say desperate, but if you really want to bring things into your life very quickly, you can combine all this energy. Use crystals, use Reiki, use visualization, affirmation, pictures. Use it to connect with the energy of water. Another way you can use pictures to manifest is you can place a particular printed out picture on a water, believing that that thing, the energy is connecting with the energy of the water, and you keep believing it, that it will come to pass. And the last point of using water, which I mentioned also in my lime video, it was my lemon revamping energy video, was a very short video, but I mentioned some of the things he that I talked about in it is that you can use a sound bath like a solfeggio to actually charge your water. You can use a 430, 432, 435 Hz frequency music to charge your water. So if you feel like you need to recharge your energy, maybe you're feeling really tired, you could charge your water with those frequency. There are so many frequency. This is why I always suggest solfeggio, because it goes from one frequency to another and to the next and to the next and to the next. It keeps going up until 800 and something hertz of frequency. So yeah, you can charge water with sound, and while you're meditating with that music, that meditative music, you also focus your energy on the water. So it's everything is flowing together. Just listen. If when you're trying to manifest, throw everything at it. Throw everything at it. You know how you go into a kitchen sometimes and you don't know what you're going to cook, but you know you're hungry and you need food. And maybe one or two things that you need is missing, but you kind of just take everything in the kitchen, combine it together, and you make a very beautiful meal. In fact, sometimes those type of food taste nicer than the organized food, the one you have all the ingredients and condiments in which you had intended to use for it. So yeah, throw everything at it. Now let's go to the second part of this video, because actually this is supposed to be two separate videos, but I just thought flip it. Let's just do it together. The second part of this video is the power of bubbles. Is that what I think? The meaning of bubbles in water. I mean, the video is talking about water, so I might as well just talk about bubbles. What is bubble in water? I know there are scientific explanation for it. Oxygen, kinika. Well, that is different. When you run water from the tap and it bubbles, that is different. The bubble I'm talking about is you have not a cup. Actually, you can use a cup, but a clear glass is the best you can use for that. If you use a mug, you're not going to see it, because it's usually at the side. I should have brought a bottle or something for experimentation purpose, but listen. Sorry, me can't be bothered. Right. When you see bubbles in water that has been sitting and is clear for a long time, the water has been sitting maybe on a table or some place, and the water was clear this whole time until certain bubbles started forming. The presence of bubble is just telling you that there's an entity or energy around you. It could be your ancestors, your spirit guides, your or an angel. It could be anything. It could be an Arusha that is trying to make contact with you, and they're just trying to get your attention. So whenever you see that, please pay close attention to it and understand what it means. Also, if you're someone who goes to sleep and your dreams are not clear, it's all wishy-washy, it's all over the place, scattered, fuzzy, have a glass of water. If you have the kind of bed frame where there is space to place water just behind your head, better. But if not, place it by the side of your bed when you're going to sleep, and when you wake up, pay attention to the bubble that forms inside it, but make sure it's something clear you're using, like a clear glass, a clear bottle, something like that. Don't use a wine bottle, don't use a green bottle, use a clear transparent bottle for this kind of experiment. You'd notice that maybe you remember your dreams better, or you see certain bubbles in it. I'm going to get to what those bubbles mean in a minute. You can use the bubbles inside the water to detect the kind of energy that is around the house. Maybe they are clean energy or not so good energy. Or maybe there's even nothing. It's just very calm, peaceful, and tranquil energy in that space you're staying in. Now, when you see no bubbles in the water, it can mean a couple of different things. Maybe there's generally an unrest in the house. Let's say the energy is clean, you've done everything, all the necessary cleansing you are, and there's kind of like no bubble. There might be a bit of unrest, or sometimes it's telling you that the spirits are helping you clear out bad vibes. And also maybe it's an indication you need to clean the space, because especially if you're doing a specific type of ritual and you're trying to draw in energy, because when I do some rituals and I have water in it, maybe like a scent expedite. There was a time I did a scent expedite work for a client. Expedite is good for speed, and you'd usually always place a glass of water in front of him. Yes, even though I'm an Olorisha, Onisheshi, I also use other forms. I'm a hoodoo root work practitioner as well as a Kabbalist. It had bubbles in it, and it was nice bubbles, so I knew, okay, yes, my G's around, it's helping. Thanks. So all I just said was an out loud thank you, so those bubbles have their different meanings. When you have small bubbles, those are friendly energy, and when they're tiny, and then they kind of form around the bottle, that's like, oh, nice energy to have. Friendly energy, your Egbeorun, an Orisha, an ancestor, any kind of good energy. Sometimes you might even see them in your dreams, or you might just get a very strong inclination of which type of energy it is. Like, there are times when Obatala comes around, I'm like, Babarugbo, welcome. Thank you for coming. How are you doing? Other times it will be Oshun. So if you're sensitive to be able to detect which is which, then you would know. Recently, I was doing a reading for someone, a lady actually, and I just noticed there was a shift in the energy. And it was no good energy. I was like, what was that? Listen, it was so intense. I literally said it out loud, like, what was that? I just felt it. I was like, damn, man, that energy is not nice. And I had to do some quick cleansing. I just felt so weird. Like, I could literally feel it on the back of my neck, all over my body. It was nasty. So you can almost sense it sometimes, but if bad as bad, you're not so sensitive. Water is a very good way to detect bad vibes. So like I said, small bubbles, friendly energy, helpful energy. On my ancestor altar, whenever I they'll change their water and they have those tiny bubbles in it, I'm just smiling like, I've got my ancestors looking after me. Do not envy me. Large bubbles, on the other hand, medium to large. Medium bubbles is mixed, is in between. It can be a bit of, there are good energies and there are bad energies at the same time. So it's like, it can be a bit of them fighting each other. The good is trying to get rid of the not so cool energy, the harmful, malevolent spirits. So medium, when you see that, and most of the time, they're, in my own personal experience, they're not usually together. I don't drink the water whenever especially when it's in my bottle, even when it's in, because I've got 2 water bottles, a Brita filter water bottle, and this one which I fill up with clean water bottle from my jug water filter. sorry, I'm big on water because the water is so hard. It's so hard when you drink it, even on the skin. It's hard. So yeah, I am always wanting to filter it. I advise you to also filter your water, please. Let's keep healthy, safe. When you remove it, sometimes you see the amount of dirt that is on the surface of it. So whenever it's in that bottle water, sorry, that bottle, I can spot that there's like a split, a tiny bubbles on the side and medium size forming into a bit of large, but it's almost like it never really overpowers the small one. So usually I just chuck it out and I refill it with fresh water and drink it, fresh water from the tap, because there's already filter in the bottle itself. So just always pay attention to that. I would never really advise you to use it. Although on one occasion my spirit guides asked me, my ancestors actually asked me to bath with the water on their altar, and it had tiny bubbles in it. So that was a very good energy. I'm like, okay, I used it. I added it to my bath water and I used it. It could also be a way of them wanting to protect you. Yes. Because a lot of people ask me these things. How do you know when they tell you these things? I just know. Other times I could literally get a very clear, strong sense. I can't explain it. You have to experience it. Some things you can't explain to someone how you know. I just know. Okay? Call me a witch. It's your problem. I just know. I'm very psychic in nature and I pick up things. They talk to me. Sometimes I zone out. Most of the time, people who are close to me have seen that happen. And you're talking to me right now, and next thing I'm out. Someone very, very wonderful in my life. Always, in fact, two of them. Whenever I'm talking and I'm like, and I'm back, and like, oh, welcome back. And I'm like, okay. So they know when I'm literally gone. It could be for a few seconds, it could be for a minute, it depends. So there are many ways I do hear my spirit guides talking to me. And when I'm completely physically deaf, they come to me in my dreams, bad as bad. They will find a way to get the message across. And the last and final bubble type, the large bubbles. These ones, I've kind of touched on it. They are really bad vibes. Like, they are quite large in size. They can be a bit roundish. Although I have not really experienced a lot of the large ones, maybe a few times, not common, because I do a lot of cleansing. Sometimes I don't just cleanse as in with incense. I usually make a combination of things, and I use it to wipe the surfaces, to mop the floor. If it's a rug, I use it to like just with a flannel or something, or a rag. I just wipe it just to get the energy out, and I open the windows, get the nasties out. So I usually don't have large bubbles, but from time to time, once in a while, they come around. And when I spot it, I know, oh, it's time for the big cleansing. So these are ways you can spot vibes in the house, what those bubbles mean. Because someone or two different people have actually asked me directly what the meaning of bubble in water means, and I explained it to them, but I actually did promise I was going to make a video on it. This was months ago. I've been so busy. Anyway, it's been a while that I had time to film. So it feels good to actually, get this across to us. Okay. This is where I round off the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I wish us all a very wonderful 2022. Have a beautiful year. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.